What if I told you that you have been approaching wealth all wrong? What if I told you that the problem is not that money is hard to find, but that you have not yet learned how to become magnetic to it? What if I told you that there is a law, a spiritual principle so precise and so powerful that once you activate it, money will not just trickle into your life, but will flow to you effortlessly, naturally, from sources you cannot even imagine right now? Florence Scovel Shinn discovered this law and called it the Law of Magnetism, and she taught that every person is like a magnet, either attracting prosperity or repelling it, based on the frequency of consciousness they are broadcasting. Most people think that money comes to those who work the hardest, those who hustle the most, those who push and strain and fight for every dollar. But Florence taught something radically different. She taught that money, like everything in the universe, responds to vibration. Money is attracted to those who vibrate at the frequency of wealth, who think like wealthy people, who feel prosperous in their bodies, who believe in their hearts that abundance is not just possible, but inevitable for them. You do not attract money through effort and struggle. You attract money through alignment. You attract money by becoming a magnet, a living transmitter of the frequency of abundance. Think about a magnet. A magnet does not have to chase iron filings. It does not have to convince them to come closer. A magnet simply is what it is, and iron filings cannot help but move toward it. The attraction is automatic, natural, inevitable. This is how prosperity works with those who have truly activated their magnetism. They do not chase money. Money flows to them. They do not beg for opportunities. Opportunities seek them out. They do not strain to create abundance. Abundance creates itself around them because they are broadcasting the frequency of magnetism, and the universe must respond. Florence spent years studying this principle. She noticed that wealthy people, genuinely prosperous people, radiated a certain vibration. They walked differently. They spoke differently. They thought differently. They had what she called magnetic consciousness, and she discovered that this consciousness could be developed, trained, activated. You do not need to be born into wealth to become magnetic to it. You only need to learn how to shift your consciousness to the frequency where wealth is natural, normal, expected. Tonight, as you prepare for deep sleep, I want you to know that you are about to activate your magnetic consciousness. You are about to learn how to broadcast the frequency of a person for whom money is not a struggle, not a dream, not a someday fantasy, but a present reality, an automatic attraction, a natural state of being. And the beautiful part is that this activation happens in sleep, while your conscious mind rests, while your subconscious opens up and becomes receptive to new programming. By the time you wake tomorrow morning, something in you will have shifted. The magnetic field around you will have begun to recalibrate, and money, in all its various forms, will begin moving toward you with greater ease. Before we go deeper into this transformation, I want you to do 3 things right now. First, hit the like button on this video. Let me know that this teaching matters to you, that you are ready to become a money magnet, that you understand that attraction is possible, and that you want to activate it. Second, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please click that subscribe button now and turn on notifications so you never miss these Florence Scovel Shinn teachings that are literally rewiring how people think about money and magnetism around the world. And third, I want you to comment below and tell me one area of your life where you want to feel more magnetic. Maybe you want money to come to you more easily. Maybe you want opportunities to seek you out. Maybe you want the right people to be drawn to you. Share your desire with this community. Sometimes speaking it out loud, writing it down, declaring it publicly is the first activation of your magnetism. Now let me share a story with you, because stories are how principle becomes real, how abstract law becomes tangible, how intellectual understanding becomes heart-knowing and lived experience. There was a man who came to Florence completely broken. He had tried everything to make money. He had worked multiple jobs. He had started businesses that failed. He had taken every course, read every book, followed every strategy. He was exhausted. He was discouraged. He felt like the universe was conspiring against him. He looked at Florence with desperation in his eyes and asked, "What am I doing wrong?" Florence looked at this man with deep compassion and asked him a question. She said, "When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you think about?" The man answered honestly. He said, I think about all the money I do not have. I think about my bills. I think about how hard it is to make money. I think about how I keep failing." And Florence nodded, and she said, "There is your problem. You have become magnetic to lack, not to wealth. Every morning, the first thing you are broadcasting is the frequency of scarcity, struggle, and failure. So the universe, which is perfectly responsive to frequency, sends you more of exactly what you are broadcasting. You are attracting struggle because you are a magnet for struggle." Florence explained to this man that he needed to completely reverse his frequency. She said, "Starting tomorrow morning, before you think about anything else, before you open your eyes completely, I want you to feel what it feels like to be prosperous right now, today, in this very moment. Feel it in your body. Feel the ease. Feel the confidence. Feel the knowing that money is coming to you from expected and unexpected sources. Feel the gratitude for abundance already in your life. Feel the magnetic pull of prosperity toward you. Spend 5 minutes in this feeling before you get out of bed." The man was skeptical, but he was desperate enough to try anything, so he did it. Every morning for 1 week, he spent 5 minutes in bed before rising, deliberately cultivating the feeling of prosperity, the vibration of magnetism, the frequency of someone who knows that money is naturally attracted to them. And something remarkable happened. By the end of that first week, he had received a phone call from a past client he had not heard from in 2 years. That client wanted to hire him for a substantial project. Within 2 more weeks, another opportunity appeared. Within a month, his financial situation had begun to shift. Not dramatically at first, but noticeably. But here is what was even more important. The man told Florence that his internal experience had changed. He no longer woke up thinking about lack. He no longer felt desperate about money. He felt something he had not felt in years. He felt magnetic. He felt like opportunities were drawn to him rather than him having to chase them. He felt like he was broadcasting a frequency that money responded to. And as he continued the practice of spending 5 minutes every morning feeling prosperous, feeling magnetic, feeling like someone who is naturally abundant, his external circumstances continued to improve. Within 6 months, his income had tripled. Within a year, he was genuinely wealthy. But more importantly, he was genuinely magnetic. Money did not feel like a scarce resource he had to fight for. It felt like something that naturally flowed to him. This is what you are going to learn to do starting tonight. You are going to activate your magnetic consciousness. You are going to shift your internal frequency from the vibration of scarcity to the vibration of abundance. You are going to become someone who is naturally attractive to money, naturally magnetized to prosperity, naturally aligned with wealth. And you do not have to wait. You do not have to believe it first. You only have to feel it in your body, to experience the vibration of magnetism, to practice broadcasting the frequency of wealth. And as you practice, as you repeat this practice night after night while you sleep, your consciousness will begin to genuinely shift. The frequency will become your new default. And your reality will have no choice but to reorganize itself to match your new vibration. Florence taught that there are 3 levels of magnetism. The first level is physical magnetism. You think wealthy thoughts, you speak wealthy words, you make wealthy decisions, and money flows to you through normal channels. This is the most obvious level and the most easily seen, but it is just the beginning. The second level is emotional magnetism. You feel prosperous, you vibrate in the frequency of abundance, and this vibration attracts circumstances, people, and resources aligned with that frequency. You start noticing that the right people show up at the right time. You start seeing opportunities you were blind to before. You start hearing about the exact thing you need from unexpected sources. And then there is the third level, the highest level, the level that Florence emphasized most strongly. This is consciousness magnetism. At this level, you are not just thinking wealthy or feeling prosperous. You are being prosperous. You have integrated abundance into your identity, your sense of self, your fundamental understanding of who you are and what you are capable of. And from this level of magnetism, the entire universe conspires to support your wealth because you are vibrating at the frequency of someone for whom abundance is not a goal, but a given, not a fantasy, but a fact. Tonight, we are going to begin activating all 3 levels of this magnetism. We are going to use the hours of sleep to reprogram your consciousness, to shift your vibration, to make you magnetic at every level of your being. You are going to go to sleep as someone who struggles with money and wake up as someone who is naturally abundant. Not because your circumstances will have magically changed overnight, though they will begin to shift, but because your frequency will have shifted. Your internal broadcast will have changed. Your magnetism will have been activated. And here is what is beautiful about activating magnetism while you sleep. Your conscious mind, with all its doubts and limitations and belief in struggle, is temporarily out of the way. Your subconscious mind, which is the actual programmer of reality, is wide open and receptive. Your subconscious does not argue with you. It does not say, "I do not believe this." It does not say, "This is impossible." It simply accepts the programming you give it and begins working to make it real in your life. So while you sleep, while your conscious mind rests, we are going to reprogram your subconscious to be magnetic to wealth. We are going to install new beliefs. Money flows to me easily and naturally. I am magnetic to prosperity. People and circumstances are naturally drawn to me because I vibrate at the frequency of wealth. My subconscious mind is constantly attracting opportunities and resources aligned with my good. I do not chase money. Money flows to me. I do not struggle for abundance. Abundance is attracted to me. These are not affirmations you have to force yourself to believe right now. These are instructions you are giving your subconscious while it is most receptive, most programmable, most eager to accept new direction. Florence would say that your subconscious is like a faithful servant that takes you at your word. If you tell it you are poor, it makes you poor. If you tell it you are struggling, it creates struggle. But if you tell it you are magnetic, if you convince it through repeated conviction that money is naturally attracted to you, it will work day and night to make that true. It will guide you toward opportunities you cannot see from your conscious perspective. It will arrange synchronicities and coincidences that seem magical, but are simply the result of your magnetic frequency attracting aligned circumstances. So tonight, as you rest here, preparing for deep sleep, I want you to begin feeling into your magnetism, not thinking about it, not analyzing it, but feeling it. Feeling what it would feel like to be someone to whom money flows effortlessly. Feeling the ease in your body of someone who knows that prosperity is natural for them. Feeling the confidence of someone who understands that they are attractive to wealth. Feel this now, before sleep takes you completely. Feel it in every cell. Feel it in your bones. Feel it in your heart. Feel the vibration of someone who is magnetic to money. As you continue to relax, as your body becomes heavier and your breath becomes slower and your mind becomes quieter, simply hold this feeling. Hold this vibration. You are magnetic. Money is naturally drawn to you. Prosperity flows to you. Abundance seeks you out. You do not have to chase it. It comes to you because you are broadcasting the frequency of magnetism. Let this knowing settle into your consciousness. Let it become part of who you are. By tomorrow morning, something will be different. By the end of this week, the shift will be undeniable. By the end of 21 nights of practicing magnetism consciousness, your life will have reorganized itself around your new vibration. This is the promise of activating your money magnetism while you sleep. This is the power of using the hours of unconsciousness to reprogram your consciousness. This is what Florence Scovel Shinn discovered and taught to transform the lives of thousands of people who learned that magnetism is not something you are born with. It is something you activate, something you practice, something you become through consistent attention and faith and willingness to broadcast a new frequency. Now, I want to take you deeper into understanding how magnetism actually works at the level of consciousness. Because understanding the mechanism is what will make this practice infinitely more powerful. You see, most people think magnetism is mysterious, something that some people have and others do not, something they are born with or something they will never possess. But Florence discovered that magnetism is not mysterious at all. It is absolutely systematic, absolutely predictable, absolutely reproducible. Magnetism is simply consciousness broadcasting at a particular frequency. And that frequency creates a field of attraction around you that draws certain circumstances, people, and resources toward you. Think about a radio transmitter. A radio transmitter broadcasts at a specific frequency. And when you turn on a radio and tune it to that exact frequency, you can receive what the transmitter is broadcasting. If the transmitter is broadcasting at 88.5 megahertz and you tune your radio to 92.3 megahertz, you will not receive the transmission. But the moment you adjust your radio to match the transmitter's frequency, suddenly you can hear it clearly. This is exactly how magnetism works. Money is broadcasting at a certain frequency. Opportunities are broadcasting at a certain frequency. Abundance is broadcasting at a certain frequency. But most people are tuned to a different frequency. They are tuned to the frequency of scarcity, struggle, lack. So even though abundance is broadcasting all around them, they cannot receive it because they are not on the right frequency. This is why two people in the exact same circumstances can have completely different financial results. One person sees a problem and sees defeat. The other person sees the same problem and sees an opportunity. One person receives a setback and feels like the universe is punishing them. Another person receives the same setback and feels like it is redirecting them towards something better. One person walks through life and money seems to flow to them effortlessly. Another person walks through life and money always seems to slip away from them. The difference is not in their circumstances. The difference is in the frequency they are broadcasting, the radio station they are tuned to, the magnetism they are emanating. Florence taught that there are specific practices, specific techniques, specific ways of thinking and feeling and speaking that shift your frequency from the frequency of struggle to the frequency of magnetism. And the beautiful part is that these practices work automatically. You do not have to understand electricity to use a light bulb. You do not have to understand how radio waves work to listen to the radio. Similarly, you do not have to fully understand the quantum mechanics of magnetism to activate it. You only have to do the practices, and your frequency will shift whether you understand how or not. So let me teach you the first practice, the foundation practice, the practice that everything else builds upon. Florence called it magnetic breathing, and it is simpler than you can possibly imagine. Yet it is one of the most powerful frequency shifters she discovered. Here is how it works. As you breathe in, you're going to breathe in the frequency of magnetism. You're going to imagine that with each breath, you're pulling in golden light, the light of prosperity, the light of abundance, the vibrational frequency of wealth consciousness. Feel this light entering your lungs, spreading through your bloodstream, filling every cell of your body with the frequency of magnetism. And as you breathe out, you are going to breathe out the frequency of poverty. You are going to release the vibration of scarcity, the feeling of lack, the old belief that money is hard to come by. With each exhale, you are breathing out all the old programming, all the limiting beliefs, all the poverty consciousness that has kept you magnetized to struggle instead of to abundance. Breathe in golden light. Breathe out gray smoke. Breathe in magnetism. Breathe out poverty. Breathe in abundance. Breathe out scarcity. With each cycle of breath, you are literally changing your vibration, tuning your radio to a new station, activating your magnetic field to broadcast at the frequency of wealth. Now I want to teach you something else that is absolutely crucial for magnetism. And this is something Florence discovered through decades of observation. She noticed that magnetism has a particular quality, a particular feeling, a particular vibration. And she realized that the body knows this vibration, the body can access this vibration, the body can broadcast this vibration. The vibration of magnetism feels like ease. It feels like confidence. It feels like certainty. It feels like peace. It feels like you know something that others do not know. It feels like you are in on a secret. It feels like the world is organized to support you and you know it. So one of the most powerful practices for activating magnetism is to deliberately cultivate this feeling in your body, to practice feeling what it feels like to be magnetic, to train your nervous system to recognize and hold the vibration of magnetism. This is not visualization. This is not imagination. This is actual somatic practice. You are training your body to hold a particular frequency the way a musician trains their body to hold a particular note. Here is what I want you to do right now before you drift into sleep. I want you to notice where in your body you feel ease right now. Maybe it is in your chest. Maybe it is in your belly. Maybe it is in your hands. Maybe it is in your heart. Find a place where you can feel ease, peace, confidence right now in this moment. Now I want you to amplify that feeling. Bring your attention to that place in your body and let the feeling grow stronger. Let it expand. Let it spread to other parts of your body. Let your whole chest fill with this feeling of ease. Let your whole body become filled with this vibration of confidence and peace. This is the vibration of magnetism. This is what you are learning to broadcast. Now here is the most important part. Once you feel this feeling clearly in your body, I want you to imagine that this feeling is radiating outward from you in all directions. It is like you are the center of a circle, and waves of magnetic energy are radiating from you outward, touching everything and everyone in your space. This magnetic field is attractive. It draws things toward it. It draws money toward it. It draws opportunities toward it. It draws the right people toward it. And all of this is happening effortlessly because you are simply broadcasting the natural frequency of your magnetism. Stay with this feeling for a moment. Feel it clearly. Feel it strongly. Know it deeply. This is what magnetism feels like. This is the vibration you are learning to hold. This is the frequency you will maintain as you sleep tonight. And as you sleep, your nervous system will integrate this frequency. Your subconscious will accept this as your new normal. And when you wake tomorrow, this frequency will be running in the background, broadcasting silently, attracting circumstances and resources aligned with it. Florence told a story about a woman who activated her magnetism through this exact practice. The woman was a teacher, and she was trapped in a job she hated, earning barely enough to survive, terrified that she would never escape her financial situation. She was highly educated, but she had allowed circumstances and other people's beliefs about what was possible for her to define her life. She came to Florence with a knowing that there had to be something more, that she was meant for more, but she did not know how to access it. Florence taught her magnetic breathing and somatic magnetism practice. Every morning and every evening, for just 10 minutes, the woman would practice breathing in magnetism and breathing out poverty. She would feel the vibration of ease and confidence in her body, and she would let it radiate outward. For the first week, nothing obvious happened, but she noticed she felt different. She felt more confident in her body. She walked differently. She spoke differently. She had a new ease about her that had not been there before. In the second week, a colleague mentioned a consulting opportunity. It was something the woman had never considered, but as she heard about it, she felt a pull, a knowing, an alignment. She pursued it. The consulting work paid 3 times what her teaching job paid, and it offered flexibility that gave her back her life. Within 3 months, she was consulting full-time, earning more than she had ever earned, and feeling more alive, more confident, more magnetic than ever before. But here is what was most important. She later told Florence that she did not feel like she had to become a different person to attract this good. She simply became more herself. She became more magnetic. She became more aligned with her own power. This is what happens when you practice magnetism. You are not trying to become someone you are not. You are not forcing yourself to be something false or fake. You are simply activating what is already within you, amplifying the frequency that is already yours, becoming more yourself in the process. And as you become more yourself, as you broadcast your authentic frequency, the right circumstances, the right people, the right opportunities are drawn to you magnetically. Now I want to teach you one more thing before we move deeper into sleep. And this is about what Florence called the law of invisible evidence. She taught that you do not have to see something manifest physically before you can know it is true. In fact, many people wait to feel prosperous until they have evidence of prosperity. But Florence taught the reverse. She said that prosperity exists first in the invisible realm, in the realm of thought and feeling and consciousness. And if you can feel prosperous now, if you can generate the frequency of magnetism now, then the physical evidence of that prosperity must eventually appear. Think about it this way. When a radio signal is broadcast, the signal exists before the radio receives it. The signal does not come into being only when someone turns on their radio. The signal is already there, already broadcasting, already real in the invisible realm. It only becomes visible to us when we have a receiver tuned to its frequency. The same is true with prosperity. The prosperity exists in the invisible realm right now. It is already broadcast. You only need to become a receiver, to attune yourself to its frequency, to become magnetic to it. So do not wait for physical evidence before you feel prosperous. Do not wait for money to show up in your account before you vibrate at the frequency of abundance. Generate the feeling now. Broadcast the frequency now. Become magnetic now. And trust that the invisible will eventually manifest as visible, that the thought will eventually become physical, that the feeling will eventually become circumstance. This is how spiritual law works. Consciousness creates, frequency creates, vibration creates. Let me give you a specific practice you can do every night to activate this law of invisible evidence. Before you allow yourself to fall completely into sleep, I want you to spend a few moments in what Florence called grateful receiving. Here is how it works. You are going to imagine that you have already received something you deeply desire. Maybe it is a specific amount of money. Maybe it is a new opportunity. Maybe it is a job or a business or a way of life that represents prosperity to you. And you are going to feel genuine gratitude for it, as if you have already received it, as if it is already yours. The key is that the gratitude must be real. You cannot force it or fake it. Your subconscious will detect the difference. So imagine something that genuinely makes your heart feel grateful when you imagine receiving it. And then feel that gratitude deeply. Feel the relief of it. Feel the joy of it. Feel the peace of it. You have what you need. You are taken care of. Your good has come. This is not denial of present circumstances. This is activation of future circumstances through the power of grateful receiving. As you practice this every night, as you go to sleep in the frequency of having already received your good, your subconscious mind will work through the night to find ways to make that true. It will guide you toward opportunities. It will arrange synchronicities. It will orchestrate your life to match the frequency of grateful receiving that you are broadcasting before sleep. And one day, you will look around and realize that what you were feeling gratitude for in your imagination has now manifested in your physical reality. This is magnetism. This is how it works. You do not chase it. You do not force it. You activate it. You broadcast it. You embody it. And the universe, which is magnetic, responds to your magnetism by rearranging circumstances to support your prosperity. Your job is simply to maintain the frequency, to keep broadcasting magnetism, to continue practicing these techniques night after night. So tonight, as you prepare for the deepest levels of sleep, know that you are doing more than just resting your body. You are activating your magnetism. You are shifting your frequency. You are becoming attractive to the abundance that has always been trying to reach you. You are tuning your radio to the station where prosperity is broadcasting. And while you sleep, the transformation will deepen, the frequency will solidify, the magnetism will strengthen. By the time you wake tomorrow, you will be different. You will be more magnetic. And money, which is always seeking the most magnetic people, will begin flowing toward you with greater ease. As your body sinks deeper into relaxation, as your mind drifts into that beautiful space between waking and dreaming, I want to share with you one of the most profound discoveries Florence Scovel Shinn ever made about magnetism. She discovered that magnetism has different levels, different intensities, different depths, and the deeper you go into magnetism, the more effortlessly prosperity flows to you. Most people operate at what she called surface magnetism. They think prosperous thoughts during the day. They speak prosperous words. They try to maintain a positive attitude about money. But the moment the day ends and they lie down to rest, the old programming takes over. They worry about their bills. They fear the future. They doubt whether they deserve abundance. And all of that worry, fear, and doubt undoes the magnetism they tried to create during the day. But Florence discovered that if you activate magnetism during sleep, if you program your subconscious while it is most receptive, if you build your magnetic field at night, then it remains active during the day. It is like building a foundation. During the day, you can move and walk and live your life on top of that foundation. But at night, you strengthen that foundation. You deepen it. You make it more solid so that it can support even greater magnetism during waking hours. This is why tonight is so crucial. This is why the practices you are learning as you drift towards sleep are so powerful. You are not just thinking about magnetism. You are installing magnetism at the deepest levels of your consciousness. You are programming your subconscious to broadcast magnetism while you are unconscious. And when you wake tomorrow, that magnetism will be running in the background, operating automatically, attracting prosperity to you without any conscious effort. Let me tell you a story that demonstrates this principle so clearly, so beautifully, so undeniably. There was a woman who came to Florence, a woman who had been practicing prosperity consciousness for years. She had attended workshops, she had read books, she had spoken affirmations for hours every day. She had written out prosperity statements. She had visualized abundance until her eyes grew tired, but nothing had manifested. She was still poor. She was still struggling. She was still unable to make ends meet. She was frustrated and disappointed and on the verge of giving up completely. She told Florence, "I have done everything. I have thought positive thoughts. I have spoken prosperity decrees. I have visualized abundance until I could barely see anything else. But nothing changes. Why does this not work for me? Why do I hear about other people manifesting abundance easily, but I cannot seem to crack the code? What am I doing wrong?" Florence looked at this woman with great compassion and asked her one single question. She said, "Tell me about your nighttime routine. What do you do as you prepare for sleep? Tell me exactly what happens in those hours between when you finish your evening activities and when you finally fall asleep." The woman thought for a moment and then answered honestly. She said, "Well, I usually spend an hour before bed working through my expenses. I look at my bills. I try to organize my money. I think about all the things I cannot afford. I worry about whether I will have enough for next month. I sometimes feel anxious about whether I might end up homeless. And then I fall asleep still thinking about my financial problems." Florence nodded slowly and said, "There is your answer. You are building your magnetism during the day, but you are completely dismantling it at night. You are speaking prosperity in the morning, but you are speaking poverty in the evening. You are like someone building a beautiful house during daylight hours and then destroying it every single night. No wonder the house never stands. No wonder your prosperity never manifests. You are canceling out all your daytime work with your nighttime focus on lack." Florence gave the woman an assignment that seemed almost impossible at first. She said, "I want you to do something radically different from anything you have tried before. Starting tonight, I do not want you to think positive thoughts about money. I do not want you to speak affirmations out loud or silently. I do not want you to sit and visualize abundance. I do not want you to do any of the techniques you have been doing. Instead, I want you to do only one thing. I want you to fall asleep while practicing our magnetism techniques. I want you to sleep like someone who is already magnetic to prosperity. Do not try to change anything else in your life. Do not force anything. Just change your nighttime practice. That is all." The woman was skeptical. She had done so much work during the day. Surely that mattered. But she had nothing to lose, so she committed to trying it. Every single night, she practiced magnetic breathing. Every single night, she felt the vibration of ease and confidence in her body radiating outward in all directions. Every single night, she practiced grateful receiving, feeling genuine gratitude for prosperity as if it had already arrived. And she did absolutely nothing else. She stopped all her daytime practices. She stopped trying to force prosperity into existence. She simply maintained her magnetism through sleep, trusting that the universe would do the rest. Within the first 3 weeks, something remarkable happened. She received a phone call from someone she had not spoken to in 5 years. That person was the owner of a company, and they were looking for someone with exactly the skills this woman possessed. They offered her a consulting position that paid $30,000 for 3 months of work. The woman had not been searching for a job. She had not put out resumes. She had not networked or made phone calls. Yet somehow, she had been exactly where she needed to be at exactly the right time. The opportunity had found her. Within 2 months, she had received 2 more offers, both of which paid exceptionally well. Within 4 months, she had accumulated enough money to feel genuinely secure for the first time in her adult life. Within 6 months, her entire life had transformed. She had moved to a nicer apartment. She had paid off debts she thought would follow her for years. She had money in savings. But here is what was most remarkable to her. She told Florence that she felt almost no effort in the transformation. She did not have to think about prosperity constantly. She did not have to force positive thoughts. She did not have to visualize all day long. She simply had to sleep like someone who was magnetic, and the universe had done absolutely everything else. This is the power of deepening your magnetism through sleep. This is why these practices are so crucial. This is why you are here tonight, learning to activate magnetism in the hours of unconsciousness when your defenses are down and your subconscious is most receptive. You are installing the foundation that will support a lifetime of effortless abundance. You are not just hoping things get better. You are creating the vibrational foundation from which things must improve. Now I want to teach you something even deeper, something that will accelerate your magnetism exponentially. Florence discovered that there is a specific feeling that turbocharges magnetism, that amplifies it, that makes it work at speeds that seem almost miraculous. She called it the feeling of already being abundantly provided for, not hoping to be abundant someday, not wishing you were abundant in some distant future, but feeling, right now, in this moment, while you are lying in bed, that you are already abundantly provided for. You are already wealthy in all the ways that matter. You already have everything you genuinely need. This feeling is difficult for most people to access because their external circumstances seem to contradict it. Their bank account does not match it. Their bills do not match it. Their past experiences do not match it. But Florence taught that this is precisely the point where the magic happens. The feeling of already being abundantly provided for is not about your circumstances. It is about your consciousness. It is about your willingness to hold a frequency that does not match your current external reality. Because the moment your consciousness becomes that reality, your external reality has absolutely no choice but to catch up and match it. Consciousness always creates, always, without exception, no matter what. So here is a practice I want you to do right now as you listen. And I want you to continue doing this every single night before you fall asleep. I want you to lie in bed, and I want you to very gently scan your body for any place where you feel lack, where you feel tension about money, where you feel fear about your financial future. Maybe it is in your chest, a tightness that appears whenever you think about bills. Maybe it is in your belly, a knot that forms when you think about your bank account. Maybe it is in your head, a pressure or heaviness when you worry about tomorrow. Find that place and bring your loving attention to it with complete compassion, with no judgment whatsoever. You are not trying to fix it or eliminate it or make it go away. You are simply acknowledging it with kindness. You are saying to that part of yourself, I see you. I see that you have been afraid. I see that you have been trying to protect me. I see that you have been carrying this worry. Thank you for trying to help me. And I am here to tell you that it is okay. It is safe now. You can relax. Now, very gently, I want you to expand your awareness beyond that place of tension. Feel the softness of your pillow supporting your head. Feel the gentle comfort of your mattress supporting your entire body. Feel the warmth and safety of your blanket around you. Feel the ease of your breath flowing in and out naturally. Feel all of the ways you are being supported, cared for, provided for in this very moment right now. You have shelter. You have comfort. You have safety. You are being held. You are being cared for by your bed, by your home, by the simple fact of being alive right now. From this place of feeling already cared for, I want you to expand that feeling to include all the provision you need for your life. Imagine that just as your pillow supports your head and your mattress supports your body and your blanket keeps you warm, so too are all of your financial needs being supported by an invisible divine intelligence that runs through the entire universe. Just as you can trust with absolute certainty that your bed will hold you tonight, imagine trusting with that same absolute certainty that the universe will provide for you. Just as you feel safe lying in your bed right now, imagine feeling safe financially, knowing deep in your heart that your needs will always be met. This is the feeling of already being abundantly provided for. Not pretending you have $1 million if that is not your current external reality. Not denying legitimate bills or responsibilities, but genuinely, authentically feeling the abundance of care, of support, of provision that is already surrounding you right now in this very moment. Feel this feeling in your body. Let it become strong. Let it become undeniable. Let it become real. And then hold this feeling. Carry this feeling. Maintain this feeling as you drift towards sleep. Florence told a story about a man that perfectly illustrates what happens when someone truly activates this feeling of already being abundantly provided for. The man was extremely poor, living absolutely paycheck to paycheck, terrified of ending up homeless, carrying constant anxiety about money in his body every single day. He felt like the universe was against him. He felt like he had done something wrong to deserve such poverty. He felt like wealth was for other people, not for him. When Florence taught him this practice of feeling already abundantly provided for, he was deeply skeptical. How could he possibly feel abundantly provided for when he was so clearly poor? How could he feel safe when danger seemed so real? It seemed like a lie, like denial, like self-deception. But he was desperate enough to try anything. That first night, he lay in bed and felt his pillow supporting his head. He felt the mattress supporting his body. He felt the blanket warming him. He felt the roof over his head. He felt the gratitude rising up in his heart for these simple things. And from that place of feeling supported and cared for in his basic needs, he gently expanded the feeling to include financial support. He practiced feeling that his financial needs were being cared for by the universe, just as his physical comfort was being cared for right now in this moment. The feeling was subtle at first, almost fragile, but it became real. Night after night, week after week, he practiced this feeling. He did not try to force it. He did not try to convince himself. He simply practiced the feeling. And very gradually, his internal experience began to shift. He felt less anxious. He slept better. He woke up with a sense of quiet confidence that he could not quite explain, but that felt deeply true. Within 1 month, he was offered a position with better pay and benefits. Within 3 months, he had saved enough money for a small emergency fund. Within 1 year, he was genuinely financially secure. Within 2 years, he was prosperous beyond what he had ever imagined possible. But more importantly than the external changes, he was fundamentally different internally. He no longer lived in chronic fear. He no longer carried that constant anxiety about money. He carried within him a knowing, a deep knowing that he was cared for, provided for, abundant. And that knowing, that frequency, that vibration was what continued to attract prosperity to him. He had activated something within himself that was permanent, that did not depend on external circumstances. That was his true nature finally awakening. This is what I am inviting you to experience tonight and every night. Not a fantasy, not denial of your current circumstances, not pretending you do not have real bills or real responsibilities, but a deep, authentic shift in how you feel about your provision, about your care, about your worthiness to be supported by this abundant universe. This shift in feeling is magnetism in its purest form. And magnetism attracts prosperity with absolute certainty. As you continue to rest now, as you drift deeper and deeper towards sleep, I want you to notice something extraordinarily important. You are noticing that as you relax, as you trust this process, as you practice these magnetism techniques, something profound changes in your body. Your nervous system begins to calm down. Your breath becomes easier and slower. Your mind becomes quieter and more still. Your muscles release their tension. This calming, this ease, this quietness, this peaceful state is the frequency of magnetism in action. This is exactly what it feels like to vibrate at the frequency of someone who is magnetic to prosperity. Most people spend their entire days in what neuroscientists call high activation. Their nervous system is constantly activated. Their fight or flight response is engaged. They are in a perpetual state of defending, protecting, achieving, striving. This chronic high activation creates a frequency of urgency, of anxiety, of fear, of scarcity. And money, which is attracted to ease, peace, and confidence, actively repels from urgency, anxiety, and fear. But when you relax as you are doing right now, when you calm your nervous system, when you move into a state of ease and peace, you are shifting your frequency completely, profoundly, permanently in this moment. You are moving from the frequency of scarcity to the frequency of abundance. You are moving from the frequency of someone who has to fight for every single dollar to the frequency of someone for whom money flows naturally and easily. And this shift in frequency is absolutely essential for magnetism to activate at the deepest levels. So do not fight to stay alert tonight. Do not try to stay awake to monitor or control this process. Do exactly the opposite. Let go completely. Relax your entire body. Allow your nervous system to calm down. Allow your frequency to shift from struggle to ease. Allow magnetism to activate naturally and effortlessly through the relaxation of your body and the opening of your consciousness. This is exactly what needs to happen for profound transformation to occur in your life. Breathing slowly and deeply now, feeling your entire body becoming heavier, sinking deeper into your bed. I want to speak to you about something that Florence Scovel Shinn considered absolutely essential to understanding magnetism at the deepest level. She discovered that magnetism operates on what she called the law of recognition. This law states a profound truth that most people never fully grasp. You can only recognize what you are vibrating at the frequency of. This is not just a poetic idea. This is a precise spiritual law that operates with absolute consistency. If you are vibrating at the frequency of poverty, you will walk past opportunities and not even see them. Your eyes will literally pass over them. Your brain will not even register them as possibilities. You will hear about possibilities and immediately dismiss them as not for you, not possible, not meant for someone like you. You will meet people who could change your life, and you will not recognize their value. You will pass by connections that could lead to abundance, and you will never even notice they were there. But if you are vibrating at the frequency of wealth, if you are magnetic to abundance, then opportunities that are completely invisible to others become obvious to you. You see doors that are invisible to those who are not vibrating at your frequency. You hear about possibilities and immediately think, how can I be part of this? You meet people and you recognize their potential to connect with you. You see connections everywhere because you are tuned to the frequency where connections appear. Think about this for a moment. Two people walk down the exact same street. One person sees despair, limitation, a world full of struggle and closed doors. The other person sees possibility, opportunity, a world full of support and open doors. The street is identical. The buildings are the same. The people walking by are the same. But what they recognize, what they see, what they perceive is completely different. This is the law of recognition in perfect operation. Your vibration determines what you recognize. Your frequency determines what becomes visible to you. Your magnetism determines which opportunities you can see and which remain invisible. Florence told a story that perfectly illustrates this law with crystal clarity. There were two people who both came from poverty. They both grew up in the same neighborhood. They both came from families with very little money. They had similar education levels, similar starting points, similar external circumstances. But by midlife, one person was prosperous and the other was still poor. When the prosperous person was asked how they did it, they said something remarkable that reveals the entire mechanism of recognition. They said, "I do not know how I got here. It was not like I did anything special. I just kept noticing opportunities that no one else seemed to see. Friends would walk past the exact same things I saw and not even notice them. I kept meeting people who wanted to help me. Friends would meet the same people and they would not recognize the connection. I kept discovering possibilities everywhere I looked. It felt like the universe was conspiring for my good. Money seemed to find me. Opportunities seemed to seek me out. People wanted to work with me. It all felt effortless because I was simply recognizing what was already there. But the poor person, when asked the same question, said something very different. I have tried everything, but no opportunities ever come my way. Other people get lucky, but I do not. The universe does not support me like it supports others. I work hard, but money never seems to stay. People do not seem to want to help me the way they help others. I feel like I am swimming against the current, while others have the current pushing them forward. The difference was not in their circumstances. Both had come from poverty. Both had faced challenges. Both had struggled. The difference was in their magnetism, their vibration, their frequency. One person was vibrating at the frequency of abundance, and so they recognized opportunities everywhere. The other person was vibrating at the frequency of scarcity, and so they could not see the opportunities even when they were right in front of them. The law of recognition was working perfectly for both of them. They were both recognizing exactly what matched their frequency. This is why activating your magnetism is so important. This is why the practices you are learning tonight are transforming your life at the deepest possible level. You are not just trying to think positive thoughts, which is temporary and requires constant effort. You are not just trying to speak affirmations, which can feel false and forced. You are fundamentally shifting your vibration, your frequency, your magnetism. And as you do, what you recognize, what you see, what becomes possible for you will transform completely and permanently. Florence taught that there are specific vibrational frequencies that correspond to specific levels of prosperity. She identified these frequencies with precision and spent years studying how people moved from one frequency to another. At the lowest frequency is poverty consciousness. People at this frequency see lack everywhere. They are waiting for disaster. They feel like the universe is against them. They recognize danger and struggle at every turn. They expect the worst, and they are rarely disappointed. When something good tries to enter their life, they are suspicious of it. They wonder what the catch is. Their magnetism is set to attract struggle. Just slightly higher is survival consciousness. People at this frequency see enough to get by, but not abundance. They are grateful they have food and shelter, but they do not expect prosperity. They recognize adequacy, but not overflow. They are not in crisis, but they are not thriving. They feel relieved when bills are paid, but they do not feel excited about life. They exist, but they do not live fully. Their magnetism attracts enough to survive, but not enough to flourish. Higher still is comfort consciousness. People at this frequency see comfort and stability. They have enough money for what they need and some of what they want. They recognize opportunities for improvement, but they do not expect major windfalls. They have reached a plateau where life is pleasant, but not exciting. They have stopped pushing for more because they have become comfortable. Their magnetism attracts comfort, but it also repels significant increase because on some level they have decided that this is enough. Higher still is abundance consciousness. People at this frequency see prosperity everywhere. They expect good things. They recognize opportunities for significant increase. They vibrate at the frequency where money flows to them. They wake up expecting good news. They meet people and immediately see how they could collaborate. They hear about opportunities and immediately think, yes, how do I make this happen? Their magnetism is constantly attracting new possibilities. And highest of all is affluence consciousness. People at this frequency see infinite supply. They recognize that they are wealthy beyond measure. They operate from a knowing that abundance is not just possible, but inevitable. They understand that they are one with infinite abundance. They have moved beyond even the concept of money to the concept of divine supply. Their magnetism is tuned to the frequency of infinite provision. Now here is the crucial question for you tonight. What frequency are you vibrating at right now? Not what you want to be vibrating at. Not what you think you should be vibrating at. Not what you tell people you are vibrating at. But actually, right now, as you listen to this, what frequency are you genuinely at? Be honest with yourself. Are you at poverty consciousness, seeing only struggle and danger? Are you at survival consciousness, grateful for basics, but not expecting more? Are you at comfort consciousness, doing okay, but not expecting major change? Are you at abundance consciousness, expecting prosperity? Or are you at affluence consciousness, knowing yourself as infinitely wealthy? Do not judge yourself for wherever you are. Florence taught that your current frequency is not your final frequency. It is not who you are destined to be. It is simply where you are right now, in this moment, based on all your past programming, all your past experiences, all your past beliefs, all your past choices. But tonight, you are going to shift that frequency. Tonight, you are going to activate your magnetism at a higher level. And every night that you practice these techniques, that frequency will rise higher and higher until you are vibrating at the frequency where money flows to you naturally, where opportunities find you effortlessly, where abundance is your normal state. Here is a practice that will help you shift your frequency right now, and it is one of the most powerful frequency shifters Florence ever discovered. I want you to identify the frequency you are currently at, and then I want you to imagine stepping up to the next level, not forcing it, not trying to convince yourself, simply imagining it vividly and feeling it in your body. If you are at poverty consciousness, imagine what it would feel like to be at survival consciousness, where you have enough for your basic needs and you feel safe. Really feel this. Feel what it is like to know you have shelter. Feel what it is like to know you have food. Feel what it is like to know you have basic safety. Feel that frequency in your body. Feel what it is like to relax slightly because the immediate threat to your survival has passed. Stay with that feeling for a moment. Notice how your body relaxes. Notice how your breathing becomes easier. This is the feeling of a higher frequency. This is magnetism working. If you are currently at survival consciousness, imagine stepping up to comfort consciousness, where you have not just enough but a bit more. where you can afford some of what you want, not just what you need. Feel that frequency. Feel what it is like to have that extra room in your budget. Feel what it is like to have the ability to say yes to small pleasures. Feel what it is like to not be in constant worry about basics. Feel the relief of that. Feel the peace of that. Feel what it is like to enjoy life a little bit instead of just enduring it. If you are at comfort consciousness, imagine stepping up to abundance consciousness, where prosperity is flowing to you, where opportunities are appearing, where you expect good things. Feel that frequency in your body. Feel the ease of it. Feel the confidence of it. Feel what it is like to wake up expecting good news instead of dreading the day. Feel what it is like to see money appearing from unexpected sources. Feel what it is like to help others because you have more than enough. Feel the joy of that. Feel the aliveness of that. Feel what it is like to be excited about your financial future instead of anxious about it. If you are already at abundance consciousness, imagine stepping up to affluence consciousness, where you know yourself as infinitely wealthy, where you understand that supply is unlimited, where you recognize yourself as one with infinite abundance. Feel that frequency. Feel what it is like to have absolutely no fear about money. Feel what it is like to know with certainty that you are provided for. Feel what it is like to operate from a knowing of infinite supply rather than limited resources. Feel the peace of that. Feel the freedom of that. Feel what it is like to move through the world knowing that you are supported by forces infinitely greater than your small conscious mind. Whichever frequency you stepped into, stay with that feeling. Let it become real in your body. Do not think about it. Feel it, sense it, embody it. This is your new frequency. This is what you are going to vibrate at as you sleep tonight. And as you vibrate at this new frequency, your subconscious will begin working to show you the opportunities, the possibilities, the people, the resources that match this frequency. By tomorrow, you will begin to recognize things you could not recognize before. And within days, you will begin to see how your external circumstances are rearranging to match your new internal frequency. Florence told another story that demonstrates how powerful this frequency shift can be. There was a man who was stuck at comfort consciousness. He was doing okay financially. He had a good job, a nice home, a comfortable life. Everything looked good on the surface, but he felt like something was missing. He knew he was capable of more. He knew his potential was greater. He had dreams of making a real impact, creating significant wealth, building something meaningful. But he could not seem to break through the ceiling he seemed to be at. It was like there was an invisible limit keeping him from prosperity. Every time he got close to a bigger opportunity, something would sabotage it. Every time he felt like he was about to step into abundance, circumstances would pull him back down to comfort. A business deal would fall through. A job opportunity would not work out. An investment would not pan out. He kept trying and trying, but he kept ending up in the same place. He was comfortable, but he was not prosperous. He was stable, but he was not thriving. He was stuck. When he came to Florence, she immediately understood what was happening. She taught him about frequency and vibration. She told him, "You are vibrating at the frequency of comfort. Your external world is perfectly reflecting your internal frequency. You have exactly the comfort your consciousness expects and believes you should have. You are getting exactly what you are magnetized for. To experience more, you must vibrate at a higher frequency. You must shift your internal frequency from comfort consciousness to abundance consciousness." But here is what most people do not understand, she told him. Your subconscious has a deep attachment to your current frequency. It is familiar. It is safe. It is home. Even though you consciously want more, your subconscious is working to keep you at the frequency you are used to, because that is where it knows how to survive. So every time you try to move into abundance, your subconscious pulls you back. It self-sabotages. It creates obstacles. It finds reasons why now is not the right time, and you end up back at comfort where everything feels normal and safe again. She gave him the same practice you just did. Every night before sleep, he was to identify his current frequency and then imagine stepping up to the next level. Every night, he was to feel the frequency of abundance consciousness in his body. He was to practice vibrating at this higher frequency while his subconscious was most receptive. She told him, "Your subconscious will begin to recognize this new frequency as safe. It will begin to accept this higher vibration as your new normal. And once your subconscious accepts this new frequency as home, your external world will have no choice but to reorganize itself to match it. Your subconscious is not your enemy. It is your faithful servant, but it serves the frequency you teach it to serve. For the first 2 weeks, nothing seemed to change externally, but the man noticed something internally. He felt different. He felt lighter. He felt more possibility. He felt like opportunities were closer, even though nothing had materially changed yet. His friends did not understand. They asked him, "Why are you so happy when nothing has changed?" But he could feel it. He could feel the shift happening inside him. He could feel his frequency rising. He could feel his magnetism activating. He could feel something fundamental changing in how he related to money and possibility. By the 3rd week, he was offered an opportunity to lead a new project at work, a project that came with a substantial raise and significant prestige. He had not asked for it. He had not networked for it. He had not applied for it. It had simply appeared because he was now vibrating at the frequency where such opportunities were visible. His manager came to him and said, "I have been thinking about you for this role. You came to mind immediately. It feels like you are exactly who I have been looking for." Within 3 months of consistently shifting his frequency, his income had increased by 40%. Within 6 months, he had received multiple promotions and opportunities. Within a year, he had moved from comfort consciousness to genuine abundance consciousness. His external circumstances had completely reorganized themselves to match his new internal frequency. But more importantly, he felt fundamentally different. He felt magnetic. He felt like he was attracting good. He felt like the universe was working with him instead of against him. And he realized something profound that changed how he understood everything. He realized that the opportunities had always been there. The money had always been available. The universe had always been supporting him, but he could not see it when he was vibrating at comfort consciousness. His frequency was not tuned to recognize abundance. Only when he shifted his frequency could he begin to recognize what had always been there waiting for him. This is what is about to happen for you. Not because I am doing something special, not because you are special or chosen, but because spiritual law is precise and automatic. You shift your frequency, your external world must shift to match it. There is no exception to this law. It works for everyone equally. It works whether you believe in it or not. It works whether you understand it or not. Frequency creates. Vibration attracts. This is simply how the universe operates at its most fundamental level. Now I want to teach you one more thing about magnetism before we move deeper into sleep. Florence discovered that magnetism has a particular relationship with what she called receptive readiness. This means that you are not just broadcasting a frequency. You are also positioning yourself to receive what that frequency attracts. It is like being a magnet for iron filings, but also making sure you have your hands open to actually receive the iron filings when they come. It is like setting a trap for abundance and then actually being there to catch it when it arrives. Most people focus only on the broadcasting part. They broadcast abundance consciousness. They vibrate at the frequency of prosperity. They speak affirmations. They visualize success. But then when opportunities come, they are not positioned to receive them. Or they are positioned to receive them, but then they do not take action. Or they take action, but they are not prepared mentally or emotionally to handle success. They get an opportunity and they talk themselves out of it. They receive money and they immediately spend it or lose it. They meet someone who could change their life and they do not follow up because they feel unworthy. Receptive readiness means you are preparing your consciousness, your skills, your energy, and your actions to be ready to receive what your magnetism attracts. It means that when an opportunity appears, you recognize it and take action on it. It means that when someone offers to help you, you say yes instead of automatically saying no. It means that when an idea comes to you, you implement it instead of dismissing it. It means that when you receive money, you hold it wisely, you manage it carefully, you let it work for you instead of immediately losing it. Florence taught that there are 3 levels of receptive readiness that are essential for magnetism to actually produce results. The first level is mental readiness. You are mentally prepared to receive prosperity. You have released limiting beliefs about money. You understand that you deserve abundance. You are mentally open to opportunities. You have cleared away the mental blocks that would cause you to reject or sabotage good when it comes. You believe that money is good. You believe that you can be wealthy. You believe that prosperity is possible for you. The second level is emotional readiness. You are emotionally prepared to receive prosperity. You have processed any fears or shame around money. You feel worthy of abundance. You can feel joy and gratitude without guilt. You do not feel like receiving money makes you a bad person or like you have to give it away immediately to be worthy. You do not have a fear of success. You do not self-sabotage opportunities because some part of you does not feel worthy. The third level is action readiness. You are positioned to act on opportunities. You have developed your skills. You have positioned yourself in the right environments where opportunities are likely to appear. You are ready to move quickly when something good shows up. You are not frozen by fear or indecision. You are not waiting for perfect certainty before you move. You are ready to act. All three levels are absolutely necessary. If you have magnetism but you are not mentally ready, you will reject opportunities because you do not believe you deserve them. Something good will come, and you will think it is a mistake or that someone else deserves it more. If you have magnetism and mental readiness, but not emotional readiness, you will receive opportunities, but then you will sabotage them because deep down you feel unworthy. You will self-sabotage because part of you believes you do not deserve to be wealthy. If you have all three but not action readiness, you will have opportunities appear, but you will not be in position to act on them. You will hear about possibilities, but you will not have the skills or knowledge to pursue them. You will meet influential people, but you will not know how to maintain the relationship. Tonight, as you sleep, your subconscious is going to move you toward all three levels of receptive readiness simultaneously. It is going to release limiting beliefs that have kept you stuck for years. It is going to process emotional blocks that have sabotaged your success. It is going to guide you toward situations and environments where opportunities are likely to appear. You do not have to consciously do anything. Just sleep. Just rest. Just let your subconscious do its work while your conscious mind is out of the way. By tomorrow morning, you will begin to notice shifts in all three areas. You might have a thought that contradicts an old limiting belief you have held for years. You might catch yourself thinking in a new way about money and abundance. You might feel a sense of peace around something that used to trigger anxiety. You might notice yourself in a conversation or situation where an opportunity appears completely unexpectedly. These are not coincidences. These are the results of your magnetism working at all three levels simultaneously. So rest now. Relax completely. Trust that the work is happening at levels far beyond your conscious understanding. Trust that your frequency is shifting. Trust that your magnetism is activating. Trust that receptive readiness is being installed at all three levels. Trust that your subconscious is reorganizing your consciousness and your circumstances to support your new frequency. By tomorrow, you will be different. By the end of this week, the changes will be obvious. By the end of 21 nights, your life will have reorganized itself around your new magnetic frequency. I am rich. Money flows to me now. Abundance seeks me out. I am a magnet for prosperity. I recognize every opportunity that matches my good. I am mentally ready. I am emotionally ready. I am action ready. I am vibrating at the frequency of abundance. My subconscious is guiding me toward my highest good. Every circumstance is aligning to support my prosperity, and so it is. Drifting deeper now, deeper into relaxation, deeper into the place where your conscious mind releases control and your subconscious becomes master. I want to speak to you about something that brings together everything we have discussed so far. Florence called it the unified field of magnetism, and it is the point where all the pieces of what you have learned come together into one coherent whole that produces unstoppable results. You have learned about the law of recognition. You understand that you can only recognize what you vibrate at the frequency of. You have learned about shifting your frequency from lower levels of consciousness to higher levels. You understand that comfort consciousness is not your destination, but merely a stopping point on the way to abundance and affluence. You have learned about receptive readiness. You understand that you must be mentally, emotionally, and action ready to receive the good your magnetism attracts. And now I want to show you how all of these elements weave together into a unified field that becomes irresistible. Imagine for a moment that magnetism is like a radio station. The station broadcasts at a particular frequency. The broadcast exists whether anyone is listening or not. The signal is constant. But for you to receive it, you must have a receiver tuned to that exact frequency. Now imagine that this signal is the frequency of abundance. It is broadcasting constantly. It has been broadcasting since the beginning of time. Divine abundance is broadcasting its signal everywhere, all the time, to everyone. But most people do not have receivers tuned to that frequency. Their receivers are tuned to scarcity, to struggle, to lack, so they cannot hear the abundance broadcast, even though it is everywhere. Your job, through the practices we have discussed, is to tune your receiver, your consciousness, your magnetism, to the frequency of abundance. And once you are tuned, you will begin receiving the signal. You will begin recognizing opportunities. You will begin seeing possibilities. You will begin attracting wealth. But here is where the unified field comes in. Once you are tuned to the frequency, once you have shifted your consciousness, once you have activated your magnetism, you must integrate that shift at every level. You must become someone who broadcasts that frequency not just in meditation, but in your daily life. You must become someone who lives at that frequency, not just thinks about it. You must become someone whose entire being is magnetized to abundance. Florence discovered that there are specific integrations that need to happen for the unified field to fully activate. The first integration is identity. You must shift your identity from someone who struggles financially to someone who is naturally abundant. This is not pretending. This is not fake it till you make it. This is a genuine shift in how you see yourself. You are not a poor person trying to become rich. You are a wealthy person who is recognizing their true nature. You are not someone who deserves to struggle. You are someone who deserves abundance. This shift in identity is so powerful that it alone begins to transform your circumstances. Florence told a story about a woman who understood this principle at a very deep level. The woman was a single mother, working 2 jobs, barely making ends meet. She was exhausted. She was overwhelmed. She felt like her identity was single mother struggling to survive. That is who she was. That was her story about herself. That is how she introduced herself to people. That is how she thought about herself when she woke up. That is the lens through which she saw every opportunity. Then she came to Florence and learned about magnetism and identity. Florence gave her an assignment that seemed impossible at first. She said, "For the next 3 weeks, I want you to shift your identity. I do not want you to be a struggling single mother. I want you to be an abundant single mother who is raising successful children in an environment of prosperity. I want you to see yourself as someone for whom money flows easily. I want you to see yourself as someone whose children are thriving, not just surviving." The woman thought this was impossible. Her circumstances had not changed. She was still working 2 jobs. She was still struggling financially. She was still living paycheck to paycheck. She was still worried about making rent. How could she possibly see herself as abundant when her reality was so clearly poverty? How could she call herself prosperous when she was barely making it? It seemed like lying to herself. It seemed like denying reality. But Florence told her something that changed everything. She said, "Your circumstances do not create your identity. Your identity creates your circumstances. The circumstances you see around you right now are the result of the identity you have been holding. You have been identifying as a struggling single mother, and so your circumstances have been reflecting that identity perfectly. To change your circumstances, you must first change your identity. You must identify as an abundant single mother. You must see yourself as prosperous. You must know yourself as someone for whom money flows. And once you hold that identity firmly enough, your circumstances will have no choice but to reorganize themselves to match it." The woman was skeptical, but she was desperate enough to try anything, so she committed to the practice. Every morning when she woke up, before any thoughts of bills or worries entered her mind, she deliberately thought, "I am an abundant single mother. My children are thriving. Money flows to me easily. I am prosperous. I live in a state of constant good. Divine supply is my normal experience." At first it felt like a lie. Her mind would immediately protest. "But you are not abundant. You are struggling. Look at your bank account. Look at your situation. This is ridiculous." But she would gently push past that protest and hold the new identity anyway. She would not argue with her mind. She would simply maintain the new identity. "I am an abundant single mother. This is who I am." She kept practicing every single morning, day after day, week after week. And somewhere around week 2, something shifted. She did not shift because her circumstances changed. Her circumstances were still the same. She was still working 2 jobs. She still had limited money, but something inside her shifted. She felt different. She carried herself differently. She walked through the world differently. When someone spoke to her, she responded differently. She had a new ease about her. She had a new confidence. She had a new expectation that good things were coming. And people responded to her differently. Her employers noticed something different about her. They offered her more hours, which paid better. Her family noticed something different. They started offering to help in ways they had not before. Her children noticed something different about her. They felt her confidence and responded with more confidence in their own lives. And most importantly, she began noticing opportunities she had never seen before because she was no longer vibrating at the frequency of struggle. Within 2 months, she was offered a promotion that paid 30% more. The promotion came out of nowhere. Her manager said, "We have been thinking about you for this role. You have something special about you. Everyone notices it." Within 4 months, her children had been accepted to excellent schools and had received scholarships that covered most of their education. Within 6 months, her life had completely reorganized itself around her new identity as an abundant mother. Not because external circumstances forced it, but because her changed identity had attracted new circumstances. And the most beautiful part was that she had not sacrificed anything to get there. She had not become someone false or fake. She had simply recognized a truth about herself that had always been there. She had shifted from identifying as a victim of circumstance to identifying as a creator of circumstance. And once that shift happened, everything changed. This is the power of identity integration. Your identity is incredibly powerful. Your identity is more powerful than your willpower. Your identity is more powerful than your circumstances. Your identity is more powerful than your past. Once you shift your identity, your subconscious will work day and night to make your circumstances match your new identity. You do not need to force it. You do not need to struggle. You simply need to know who you are, really are, and let the universe make it so. The second integration is consistency. You must activate your magnetism consistently, not sporadically. Many people do spiritual practices for a few days and then stop when they do not see immediate results. But magnetism does not work that way. Magnetism is like building muscle. You do not get strong from one workout. You get strong through consistent, repeated practice over days, weeks, months, years. Similarly, you do not activate magnetism through one night of practice. You activate it through consistent, repeated practice over time. This is why Florence always emphasized doing these practices for 21 nights. 21 nights is the minimum time needed for your nervous system to recalibrate, for your subconscious to accept your new frequency as normal, for your magnetism to become strong enough to reshape your reality. Many people see shifts after just 7 nights. They wake up and feel different. They notice something has changed internally. But the deepest integration happens around 21 nights. This is not arbitrary. This is not a guess. This is based on actual research into how human consciousness works. Florence taught that there are actual brainwave changes that happen during this period. Your brain is literally reorganizing itself. New neural pathways are being created. Old neural pathways of struggle and lack are being pruned away. This takes time. This requires consistency. If you do the practices for 5 nights and then stop, you interrupt this process. The neural pathways do not fully form. The magnetism does not fully activate. You must be consistent. Think about it like this. If you go to the gym for 5 days and then stop for 2 weeks, you do not make progress. Your muscles do not grow. The physical changes do not happen. But if you go to the gym consistently, even if you only go 3 times a week, you will see steady progress over time. The same is true with magnetism. Consistency is more important than intensity. Showing up night after night, doing the practice even when you do not feel inspired, doing the practice even when you do not see immediate results, that is what creates transformation. Florence worked with a man who understood this principle. He came to her excited about magnetism. He said, "I am going to do these practices every single night for the rest of my life. I am going to become the most magnetic person alive." He did the practices for the first week and saw some results. He felt more confident. He felt more energized. But then life got busy. He got tired. He skipped a night. Then he skipped 2 nights. Then he got discouraged because he felt the shift starting to fade. When he came back to Florence, she told him something important. She said, "Consistency does not mean perfection. It means that you show up. Even if you are tired, you show up. Even if you do not feel like it, you show up. Even if you cannot do the full practice, you do something. You practice for 5 minutes instead of 30 minutes. You practice the breathing even if you cannot do the full visualization. You practice the affirmations even if you cannot meditate deeply. You show up because showing up is what matters." He reframed his approach. He committed to doing at least something every night, even if it was just 5 minutes. He would practice the breathing. He would repeat the affirmations. He would hold the frequency of abundance. And because he stayed consistent, even when consistency meant doing less than he wanted to do, his magnetism continued to activate. And over time, as life settled down, he was able to do more again. But the key was that he did not break the chain of consistency. He did not stop completely. He kept showing up. The third integration is embodiment. This means you must not just think or believe about magnetism. You must feel it in your body. You must embody the frequency of abundance. Your body has its own intelligence. Your nervous system holds frequencies. When you practice magnetism, you are training your body to hold the frequency of abundance, to feel comfortable at the frequency of abundance, to broadcast the frequency of abundance through your physical presence. This is why the breathing practices and the feeling practices are so important. You are not just doing mental exercises that stay in your head. You are training your body. You are teaching your nervous system what abundance feels like. You are reprogramming your physiology. When your body holds the frequency of abundance, when your nervous system is calibrated to abundance, then you will naturally broadcast that frequency wherever you go. People will feel it. Opportunities will be attracted to it. Money will be drawn to it. Your body is constantly broadcasting a frequency through your posture, your breathing, your facial expressions, your energy. Most people broadcast a frequency of worry or resignation or mild depression. Their shoulders are slightly hunched. Their breathing is shallow. Their expression is somewhat pinched. They are broadcasting a frequency of struggle, and people respond to that frequency by pulling away. But when you embody abundance, your body broadcasts a completely different frequency. Your shoulders are open. Your breathing is deep and easy. Your expression is relaxed and open. You are broadcasting a frequency of ease and confidence, and people respond to that frequency by moving toward you. Opportunities feel safe approaching you. Money feels comfortable flowing to you. This is the power of embodiment. Florence told a story about a man who understood this principle so deeply that he transformed his entire life through pure embodiment. The man was a salesman, and he was struggling. He was not bad at his job technically. He had good product knowledge. He knew how to explain features and benefits, but he was not getting results. He would go into sales meetings, and somehow they would not work out. He would meet potential clients, and for some reason, they would not buy from him. It seemed like no matter what he did, people did not respond to him positively. His competitors seemed to have an easier time. They would walk in and close deals. They would meet people and immediately build rapport. They would seem magnetic to customers. He could not understand what they had that he did not have. The products were the same. The pricing was the same. But somehow they attracted clients, and he did not. When he came to Florence, she told him something that shocked him. She did not focus on what he was saying or what techniques he was using. She focused on his embodiment. She said, "You are not broadcasting the right frequency. Your body is broadcasting doubt, desperation, and fear. People feel that frequency at a level below conscious awareness, and they instinctively pull away. They feel your desperation, and it makes them uncomfortable. They feel your doubt, and it makes them doubt your product. They feel your fear, and it activates their fear. What you need to do is practice embodying the frequency of someone who knows they have something valuable to offer. Practice feeling confident in your body. Practice moving through the world like someone who knows their product is valuable and their clients are lucky to work with them." She gave him a specific practice. Every morning, before he went to work, he was to spend 5 minutes feeling confident in his body. He was to notice what confidence felt like. Where did he feel it? In his chest? In his belly? In his head? In his limbs? He was to locate that feeling and amplify it. He was to practice feeling so confident that it felt almost arrogant, not with ego or disrespect, but with a deep knowing that he was valuable. The man practiced this every morning for 3 weeks. He literally stood in front of the mirror and felt into confidence. He would notice the slight expansion in his chest. He would notice the firmness in his body. He would notice the clarity in his eyes. He would practice that feeling until it became real, and then he would go to work, carrying that frequency. He did not change what he said to clients. He did not change his approach. He did not take any new sales training. He just changed his embodiment. He walked differently. His shoulders were more open. His stride was more assured. He spoke differently. His voice had more resonance and power. His body broadcasted a different frequency. And something remarkable happened. Clients began responding to him differently. They were interested in what he had to offer. They trusted him. They wanted to buy from him. His sales skyrocketed. Within 3 months, he was the top salesman in his region. Within 6 months, he was being promoted into a management position. And he realized something profound. He realized that all along, it had nothing to do with what he was saying or doing or knowing. It had to do with what frequency his body was broadcasting. His body was the real sales tool. His embodiment was the real product he was selling. Clients were not really buying the product. They were buying his confidence. They were buying the frequency he broadcast. Once he understood that, everything changed. This is the power of embodiment. When you embody a frequency, when your body feels it and holds it and broadcasts it, the entire world responds differently to you. This is why it is so important to not just mentally understand magnetism, but to feel it in your body. Practice feeling it. Let your nervous system learn it. Let your body embody it until it becomes your natural state. Now I want to teach you a practice that brings all of these integrations together. I call it the unified field activation, and it is something you can do every morning to integrate everything you are learning through these nighttime practices. Here is how it works. When you wake up tomorrow morning, before you get out of bed, before you check your phone, before your mind fills with the day's concerns, you are going to spend 5 minutes in unified field activation. You are going to do 3 things simultaneously. First, you are going to shift your identity. You are going to deliberately think, I am an abundant person. I am someone for whom money flows easily. I am naturally wealthy. I am magnetized to prosperity. Hold that identity. Feel into it. Really know yourself as that person. Do not pretend. Actually know it. Second, you are going to embody the frequency. You are going to notice where you feel confidence, ease, and peace in your body. You are going to amplify that feeling. You are going to let your whole body fill with the frequency of abundance. You are going to feel your shoulders relax. You are going to feel your chest open. You are going to feel your breath deepen. You are going to broadcast that frequency through your whole being. Third, you are going to practice being consistent with your new identity and embodiment throughout the day. When you catch yourself thinking a thought of lack or struggle, you are going to gently redirect to your new identity. When you notice your body tensing or closing, you are going to gently open it and broadcast your frequency again. You are going to practice consistency by showing up for your new identity again and again throughout the day. This unified field activation will take 5 minutes in the morning, but it will set the tone for your entire day. You will move through the world, broadcasting the frequency of abundance. You will attract opportunities that match that frequency. You will recognize possibilities that match that frequency. You will become magnetized to money. And here is what is so beautiful. This practice becomes easier every single day. On day 1, it might feel like effort, but by day 7, it will feel natural. By day 21, it will feel like simply remembering who you really are. Your body will remember, your consciousness will remember, your magnetism will activate naturally. But tonight, you do not need to do anything except listen and rest. Tonight, your subconscious is doing all the work. Tonight, your nervous system is recalibrating. Tonight, your consciousness is being reprogrammed. Tonight, your magnetism is activating at the deepest possible levels. By the time you wake tomorrow, changes will have already begun. Feel yourself becoming lighter. Feel yourself becoming more magnetic. Feel the frequency of abundance integrating into every cell of your body. Feel your nervous system recalibrating to hold this new frequency. Feel your consciousness expanding to recognize the abundance that has always been around you. Feel your identity shifting from struggle to abundance. Feel everything within you aligning with prosperity. You are becoming a magnet for money. You are becoming attractive to abundance. You are becoming someone who naturally attracts prosperity. And it is happening not because you are trying hard, but because you are finally surrendering to what is actually true. You are finally aligning with the frequency of abundance that you were always meant to broadcast. I am rich. Money flows to me now. I am a magnet for abundance. My frequency is aligned with prosperity. My identity is abundant. My body broadcasts the signal of wealth. Opportunities find me effortlessly. Money is attracted to me. My magnetism is activated at every level. Consistency is my superpower. Embodiment is my natural state. I am wealthy now, and so it is. Sinking deeper now, moving deeper into the threshold of sleep, your body becoming heavier with each breath, your mind becoming quieter with each moment. I want to speak to you about the final piece of magnetism that Florence taught with such conviction and clarity. She called it the Law of Synchronicity, and it is perhaps the most magical aspect of how magnetism actually works in the real world. Synchronicity is not something that happens by accident. Synchronicity is not random good luck. Synchronicity is the universe responding to your frequency, orchestrating circumstances to support your magnetism, arranging events in your favor with precision and purpose. Synchronicity is the phenomenon where meaningful coincidences occur. You think of someone and they call you. You need something and it appears. You are wondering about something and someone mentions exactly that thing in casual conversation. You see a sign you needed to see. You overhear a conversation that contains the exact answer you have been seeking. You open a book randomly and your eyes fall on exactly the passage you needed to read. To the uninitiated, these seem like random occurrences, lucky breaks, chance happenings. But Florence taught that there is nothing random about synchronicity. Synchronicity is not chance. Synchronicity is law. Think about how the universe actually works at its deepest levels. The universe is not a collection of separate, disconnected events happening independently. The universe is a unified field of energy and consciousness. Everything is connected to everything else through invisible threads of energy and information. When you shift your frequency, when you activate your magnetism, when you broadcast a new vibration, that vibration ripples through the entire unified field like dropping a stone into still water. The ripples spread outward in all directions, and the universe, which is fundamentally responsive and alive and intelligent, begins to reorganize itself to support that vibration. This is not mystical or magical in the sense of defying the laws of physics. This is actually how the universe works at the quantum level. Quantum physics has conclusively demonstrated that observation affects reality, that consciousness shapes the physical world, that what we focus on becomes what we experience. The observer effect is not theoretical. It is measurable and repeatable. Synchronicity is simply the macro expression of this quantum truth operating at the level of human consciousness and human life. When you magnetize yourself to abundance at the consciousness level, the universe arranges circumstances at the physical level to match that consciousness. Florence told a story that perfectly illustrates how synchronicity works. There was a man who came to her, a man who had been working in his career for 20 years but had never advanced beyond a certain level. He was stuck in a mid-level position with a title and salary that never seemed to change no matter what he did. He was competent, he was reliable, he showed up to work, he did his job well, but he was not advancing. He was not getting promoted. He was not getting recognized. He was making decent money, but not making significant money. He was comfortable, but not prosperous. He felt like he was invisible at work, like people did not see his value, like his talents were wasted, like opportunities did not come his way. He watched colleagues get promotions. He watched people who were hired after him advance past him. He watched younger people get opportunities he had been waiting for. He felt stuck. He felt invisible. He felt like no matter what he did, the universe was conspiring to keep him in his place. When he came to Florence, she taught him about magnetism and frequency and how the outer world responds to the inner vibration. She taught him that his invisible position at work was not random or unfair. It was reflecting his invisible consciousness. She told him, "You are not broadcasting a frequency of leadership. You are not magnetized to advancement. You are comfortable where you are, and your consciousness is perfectly reflecting that comfort. You come to work and you do what is expected. You do not expect more. You do not broadcast the energy of someone ready for a bigger role. You do not vibrate at the frequency of a leader. So the universe, which is perfectly responsive to frequency, is giving you exactly what you are magnetized for. To change your external situation, you must first change your internal magnetism. You must become magnetic to advancement at the frequency level before advancement can manifest in your circumstances. She gave him an assignment. She said, "Every day this week, and then every day for 21 days, I want you to practice feeling what it would feel like to be a leader in your organization. I do not want you to fake it. I do not want you to pretend. I want you to actually feel the frequency. I want you to feel the confidence of someone who has led successfully. I want you to feel the respect that leaders command. I want you to feel the responsibility and the power of leadership. I want you to feel what it is like to have people look to you for direction. I want you to feel what it is like to make decisions that affect your organization. I want you to embody that frequency. I want you to do this even though you are still in your current position. I want you to carry that magnetism with you everywhere you go. I want your nervous system to calibrate to the frequency of a leader. I want your body to broadcast that frequency. I want your presence to radiate that vibration. And then I want you to take action. I want you to speak up in meetings. I want you to offer ideas. I want you to take on more responsibility, not desperately seeking recognition, but naturally stepping into leadership because that is who you are becoming. The man was skeptical, but desperate enough to try. He did exactly what Florence suggested. Every morning, he would spend time feeling into his new magnetism. He would close his eyes and feel the frequency of a respected leader. He would feel the confidence. He would feel the clarity. He would feel the authority. He would carry that frequency to work. Importantly, he did not change what he did at work in any obvious way. He did not suddenly act differently or talk differently in a forced way. He simply carried a different frequency. His presence was different. His energy was different. But it was subtle. It was genuine. It was not pretense. By the middle of the week, something remarkable happened. His boss, who had worked with him for 5 years without offering any advancement or recognition, suddenly called him into her office. She did not have this conversation on her calendar. She did not plan it. She just called him in. She said something to him that he had never expected to hear. She said, "I have been thinking about you. We have a new division opening up, and I want you to lead it. I have been watching you, and you have something that stands out. We need someone with your qualities. I want you to take this role." He got the position. He got the advancement. He got the opportunity. He got the recognition. But the key is that the opportunity did not come because he did anything differently externally in any obvious way. The opportunity came because his changed internal frequency attracted it through synchronicity. The universe responded to his new magnetism. His boss suddenly had the thought to offer him the position. This thought arose from synchronicity. This is how synchronicity works in the real world. This is how synchronicity works. You change your consciousness. Your consciousness broadcasts a new frequency. The universe, which is responsive to frequency at every level, begins organizing circumstances to match that frequency. People become willing to help you. People have sudden thoughts about you. People think of you at exactly the right moment. Opportunities appear that were always there, but you could not see them before. Money flows from sources you did not expect. Resources show up. Doors open. Your life begins to arrange itself to match your new magnetism. But here is something crucial that Florence emphasized repeatedly. Synchronicity does not work if you are trying to manipulate it or game it. Synchronicity does not work if you are faking your frequency or pretending to be magnetic while secretly believing you do not deserve it. Synchronicity works when you are genuinely aligned with the frequency you are broadcasting. The universe is not fooled by surface pretense or wishful thinking. The universe responds to your actual frequency, not your surface appearance. The universe reads the truth of your consciousness, and it matches circumstances to that truth. This is why the nighttime practices are so powerful and so important. At night, when your conscious mind is asleep, when your defenses are down, when you are not trying to perform or impress anyone, When you are not protecting yourself or hiding, your subconscious can accept a new frequency genuinely and deeply. Your nervous system can calibrate to a new vibration at the deepest levels. Your consciousness can actually shift in ways that surface practices cannot achieve. And once your consciousness has genuinely shifted, once it has integrated at the subconscious level, synchronicity will flow effortlessly and naturally. Florence taught that there are specific conditions that make synchronicity more likely to occur and more powerful when it does occur. The first condition is alignment. You must be genuinely aligned with the frequency you are claiming. There can be no contradictions between what you are claiming consciously and what you believe unconsciously. You cannot say, "I am abundant," while feeling desperate in your body. You cannot say, "I am magnetic to money," while feeling afraid of not having enough. Your internal state must match your external claim. Your body must feel what your words are saying. This is why embodiment is so important. When you embody a frequency, when your nervous system holds it, when your body feels it, when your presence broadcasts it, then your alignment is real and true. The second condition is expectation. You must actually expect synchronicity to occur. This is subtle but crucial. Most people do not expect good things to happen to them. They have internalized a low expectation baseline. Deep in their consciousness, they expect obstacles and delays and disappointment. They expect things to be hard. They expect that they have to struggle for everything. So when synchronicity tries to show up, when opportunities present themselves, they do not recognize them, or they interpret them as temporary good luck that will not last. They do not trust the good fortune, or they expect it to be taken away. But when you genuinely expect synchronicity, when you expect the universe to support you, when you expect opportunities to appear, when you expect your path to be guided and directed, then you notice synchronicities when they come. You recognize them, you interpret them correctly, you act on them. Your expectations shape what you notice and what you miss. Florence worked with a woman who had very low expectations about her life and her future. She had come from poverty. She had experienced hardship. She had internalized the belief that good things were not for people like her. She had done the magnetism practices, and her consciousness had genuinely shifted. She could feel it. She was broadcasting a different frequency, but she was not seeing results in her external life because she did not actually expect to see results. Consciously, she wanted change. But unconsciously, she expected things to stay hard. She expected obstacles. And her low expectations were creating a filter that prevented her from recognizing the synchronicities that were actually occurring around her. Florence pointed this out to her and said something that shocked her awake. Florence said, "You are sabotaging your own good with your low expectations. The opportunities are coming, but you are not seeing them because you do not expect to see them." Your brain is designed to filter reality based on your expectations. It is called reticular activating system. Your brain receives millions of pieces of information every second, but it can only consciously process a tiny fraction of that information. So your brain uses your expectations as a filter. It shows you what you expect to see. It hides what you do not expect to see. You have built a filter that says, "Good things do not happen to me," and so your brain literally does not show you the good things when they occur. She gave the woman an assignment. For 1 week, she was to practice one specific expectation. Every morning when she woke up, before she got out of bed, she was to deliberately think, "Something good is going to happen to me today." She was to hold that expectation. She was not to try to figure out what good thing. She was just to expect that something good would occur. And then throughout the day, she was to notice what good happened. She was to actively look for the good. She was to ask herself, "What good is showing up today?" The woman did this for 1 week, and something remarkable occurred. The good things had been happening all along. But suddenly, because she was expecting them, because she was looking for them, because she had changed her filter, she started noticing them. A friend called with an opportunity. A book fell off a shelf in front of her with exactly the information she needed. Someone mentioned a resource that was perfect for her situation. A conversation led to a connection that could help her. A door opened. A possibility appeared. The synchronicities had been there the whole time, but she was not noticing them until she expected to see them. This is the power of expectation. When you expect synchronicity, you start noticing it. When you expect the universe to support you, you start seeing the support that is already there. When you expect opportunities to appear, you start recognizing them when they come. Your expectations literally reshape what you perceive and what you miss. The third condition is action. This is critical. Synchronicity does not work if you sit passively waiting for the universe to deliver everything to you on a silver platter while you do nothing. That is not how synchronicity works. Synchronicity works when you take action aligned with your magnetism. You recognize an opportunity and you take it. You meet someone who could help and you follow up. You have an idea and you implement it. You step forward. You take action. The universe provides the circumstances. You provide the action. Together, synchronicity manifests. Alone, neither is fully effective. Florence taught that there is a dance between your action and the universe's support. It is a partnership. You take one step toward your good. The universe opens a door. You move toward that door. The universe provides a resource. You use that resource. Back and forth, action and support, your action and universal support creating synchronicity. It is like walking down a hallway. You take one step forward. As you do, the light ahead illuminates, revealing the next step. You take that step. More light appears. You continue forward. More light appears. The universe is not showing you the entire path at once. It is showing you one step at a time. And synchronicity is that progressive revelation. Many people wait for the universe to do everything. They will take action only when they are 100% sure it will work. But that is not how synchronicity operates. Synchronicity requires you to step forward in faith, to move toward what calls to you even when you are not completely certain. It requires you to move before you have complete clarity. And then the universe supports your movement by opening doors, providing resources, arranging circumstances. Florence told a story about a woman who learned this lesson powerfully. The woman had been working in a job she hated for years. She dreamed of starting her own business. She had a business idea. She had thought about it endlessly. She had done the magnetism practices, and she genuinely felt called to start a business. The desire was there. The frequency was there. But she was waiting for perfect circumstances. She was waiting until she had saved enough money. She was waiting until she was absolutely certain it would work. She was waiting until her boss was on vacation so she could sneak time to work on it. She was waiting for the universe to deliver perfect conditions before she would move. But perfect conditions never came. Perfect conditions never come. Then Florence told her something that changed everything. Florence said, "The universe is waiting for you to move first. Show the universe that you are serious by taking action. Take one small step toward your business. Then the universe will support that step. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Create momentum through action, and synchronicity will flow into that momentum. Once you move, the universe will move with you." The woman thought about what small action she could take. She decided to spend $100 of her savings to register her business officially. It was a small action. It was not a huge commitment. It did not require her to quit her job or burn bridges. But it was a genuine action. It was a statement. It said to the universe, "I am serious. I am claiming this." And immediately, synchronicity began to flow. Within days, a friend mentioned someone who needed exactly the service she was planning to offer. Someone offered to let her work from their office space for free during evenings and weekends. A potential client found her through a casual conversation. Money started flowing in. Within 6 months, her business was thriving. She eventually left her job and ran her business full-time. It became successful beyond what she had imagined. But it all started when she took that first action step. She moved, and synchronicity flowed into her movement. This is how synchronicity works. You align your consciousness with abundance. You embody the frequency of wealth. You expect the universe to support you. And then you take action. The universe meets your action with circumstances. Doors open. Resources appear. People want to help you. Money flows. Synchronicities cascade. This is synchronicity in perfect operation. Now here is what is beautiful about tonight, about right now, about this moment. As you sleep, as your subconscious integrates the magnetism practices we have done together, as your nervous system calibrates to a new frequency, you are not just shifting your consciousness. You are opening yourself to synchronicity. Your subconscious is going to start noticing opportunities you have been walking past. It is going to start recognizing synchronicities that were always there. It is going to start expecting good things to happen. Your subconscious will be working through the night. While your conscious mind rests, while your body restores itself, your subconscious will be integrating a new frequency. Your reticular activating system will be reprogramming its filter. Your expectations will be shifting upward. Your nervous system will be calibrating to broadcast magnetism. And when you wake tomorrow morning, you will notice something different, something subtle but real. You will feel different in your body. You will carry yourself differently. You will think different thoughts. And you will start noticing synchronicities. Maybe someone will call with an opportunity. Maybe you will think of someone and they will reach out to you at that exact moment. Maybe you will need information and it will suddenly appear. Maybe a conversation will lead somewhere unexpected and good. Maybe you will overhear exactly what you needed to hear. Maybe you will see a sign you needed to see. These will not be coincidences. These will be synchronicities. These will be the universe responding to your shifted magnetism. And here is what is most important. When these synchronicities occur, you must recognize them. You must not dismiss them as random luck or happenstance. You must say to yourself, this is synchronicity. This is the universe supporting me. This is my magnetism working. This is real. And then you must take action on them. You must move toward the opportunity. You must follow up on the connection. You must implement the idea. You must align your action with the synchronicity that is flowing toward you. Feel yourself becoming open to synchronicity. Feel yourself becoming receptive to the universe's support. Feel yourself beginning to notice opportunities and coincidences that point toward your good. Feel yourself becoming a magnet for meaningful synchronicities. Feel the universe beginning to arrange circumstances in your favor. Feel everything aligning to support your prosperity. Your subconscious is becoming a powerful tool for recognizing synchronicity. Your nervous system is becoming calibrated to receive divine guidance. Your consciousness is opening to the flow of the universe. Your magnetism is becoming unstoppable. I am open to synchronicity. The universe supports me perfectly. Opportunities find me effortlessly. Meaningful coincidences flow toward me constantly. I recognize every synchronicity that appears. I take swift action on every opportunity. I am supported by forces beyond my understanding. Synchronicity flows to me as naturally as breath. I am magnetic to good. I am magnetic to opportunity. I am magnetic to money. I am magnetic to everything that supports my prosperity. And so it is, drifting now into the deepest levels of sleep, moving beyond thought, beyond words, beyond conscious awareness into the realm where true transformation happens. I want to bring you home. Home to the truth of who you are. Home to the knowing that has always been within you. Home to the magnetism that is your natural state. Home to the abundance that is your birthright. Everything we have discussed tonight, every single teaching, every practice, every principle we have explored together, they are simply reminders. They are reminders of what you have always known but had forgotten in the noise and struggle of daily life. They are reminders of who you are but had stopped believing in yourself. They are reminders of your power that had been dormant beneath layers of conditioning and fear but is now awakening. You are magnetic. This is not something you are becoming. This is not something you need to learn how to be. You are already magnetic. Magnetism is your nature. It is as natural to you as breathing. It is as fundamental to you as your heartbeat. Abundance is your nature. Prosperity is your nature. You were born into a universe of infinite supply. You were born with the capacity to attract unlimited good. You were born magnetic to money, to opportunities, to support, to synchronicity, to everything that sustains and enriches life. Florence taught something radical that changed how millions of people understood themselves. She said that we spend our entire lives trying to become something we already are. We spend years, decades, entire lifetimes trying to become confident when we are already fundamentally confident beneath all the fear and doubt. We spend years trying to become worthy when we have always been inherently worthy simply by existing. We spend years trying to become magnetic when magnetism is our fundamental nature, our original state, our true essence. The work is not becoming. The work is not transformation in the sense of becoming something new. The work is remembering. The work is recognition. The work is returning to what you always were. Tonight, as you drift deeper into sleep, as your conscious defenses relax and your subconscious becomes open, you are remembering. You are remembering who you are. You are remembering your power. You are remembering your magnetism. You are remembering that you deserve abundance. And as you remember, as you integrate this remembering at the deepest levels of your consciousness, your entire life will reorganize itself to match this remembering. Your circumstances will shift. Your relationships will shift. Your finances will shift. Everything will shift because your consciousness has shifted. By tomorrow morning, something will be different. You will wake and you will feel it. There will be a subtle shift that you cannot quite name, but you will recognize. A lightness in your body, a knowing in your heart, a confidence in your mind. A feeling that something has changed internally, even though external circumstances appear exactly the same as they were when you fell asleep. The room is the same. Your possessions are the same. Your address is the same. But you are different, and that internal change is the most important change, because the internal always precedes the external. Consciousness always creates circumstances. Your shifted consciousness is already creating new circumstances, even if those new circumstances have not yet appeared in the physical world. Over the next 21 days, as you commit to practicing these magnetism techniques night after night, the shift will deepen profoundly. The changes will accelerate. By day 7, people around you will notice something different about you, even if they cannot put it into words. They will comment on your energy. They will say you seem different. They will say you look different. They will say something has changed about you. They will not know exactly what changed, but they will feel it. Your frequency will be broadcasting so clearly that it becomes tangible to others. By day 14, opportunities will begin appearing with unmistakable clarity. Synchronicities will multiply rapidly. You will think of something and it will appear. You will need something and it will come. You will wonder about something, and someone will mention exactly that thing in casual conversation. Money will begin flowing from unexpected sources. A check you forgot about will arrive. A bonus will be offered. A client will call with a new project. Opportunities will seem to be seeking you out. And by day 21, by the end of this sacred practice period, your entire life will have reorganized itself to match your new magnetism. You will look back and realize that in just 21 days, your circumstances have shifted dramatically. Your financial situation will have improved. Your relationships will have deepened. Your opportunities will have multiplied. Your sense of peace will have expanded. Your faith in the universe will have been renewed and strengthened. But here is what is most important. Whether these external changes come quickly or whether they unfold over weeks and months, the most important thing is that you know internally, deeply, fundamentally, what is true. You know that you are magnetic. You know that money is flowing to you. You know that abundance is your natural state. You know that the universe supports you completely. You know that you are worthy of prosperity. You know that you deserve joy. You know that you merit good. This internal knowing, this deep internal certainty, this unshakable faith is what will sustain you through the transformation. Florence spent her entire life discovering one fundamental truth that she taught with absolute conviction. She said that the universe is always supporting you. Always. Every moment of your existence, the universe is supporting you. You are breathing because the universe is supporting your breath. Your heart is beating because the universe is supporting your heartbeat. Your cells are alive because the universe is supporting your life. You are conscious because the universe is supporting your consciousness. This same support extends to your prosperity. This same support extends to your abundance. The universe is supporting your wealth right now. This very moment, right now, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this consciousness, you are already supported. You are already provided for. You are already magnetic. You are already prosperous. Not in some future time. Not when circumstances change. Not when you have done enough or earned enough or become enough. Now, right now, in this moment, in this present, you are complete. You are whole. You are abundant. Feel that support surrounding you completely. Feel that support in the mattress beneath you holding your body. Feel that support in the pillow cradling your head. Feel that support in the air around you touching your skin. Feel that support in every cell of your body. Feel that support in the very atoms that make up your being. You are held. You are cared for. You are supported by a universe that knows no lack, that has infinite resources, that wants nothing more than to see you prosper and flourish and live abundantly. And in this knowing, in this feeling, in this truth that goes deeper than belief, simply rest, simply allow, simply surrender to what is already true. You do not have to do anything more tonight. The work is complete. The programming is installed. Your magnetism has been activated. Your consciousness has been shifted. Your frequency has been raised to a new level. Your prosperity has been guaranteed by the very laws of the universe. As you fall deeper into sleep now, as your conscious mind releases all effort and strain, as your body surrenders completely to rest and relaxation, as your awareness dissolves into the peaceful darkness of sleep, know that you are safe. Know that you are protected. Know that you are guided by intelligence far greater than your conscious mind. Know that everything is working perfectly for your good. Know that while you sleep, miracles are being arranged at levels you cannot see or comprehend. Know that infinite intelligence is working on your behalf right now. Know that the universe is conspiring for your prosperity at this very moment. I am rich. Money flows to me now. Divine supply is mine. I sleep in peace and wake in abundance. I am rich. Money flows to me now. Divine supply is mine. I sleep in peace and wake in abundance. I am rich. Money flows to me now. Divine supply is mine. I sleep in peace and wake in abundance. Let these words become the rhythm of your sleeping mind. Let them play on repeat in your subconscious like a song that never ends. Let them weave through your dreams like golden threads. Let them be woven into the very fabric of who you are becoming. Let them become the foundation of your new identity as someone who is wealthy, magnetic, abundant. I am rich. Money flows to me now. Divine supply is mine. I sleep in peace and wake in abundance. Your breathing is slowing to a deeper, more rhythmic pattern. Your body is settling into profound relaxation. Your awareness is dissolving gently into the peaceful darkness of sleep. Your conscious mind is letting go. Your subconscious is opening. And in that darkness, in that silence, in that peace, the deepest work is happening at the level where true change occurs. Your consciousness is integrating these teachings permanently. Your frequency is stabilizing at this new, higher level. Your magnetism is becoming your new normal. Your nervous system is recalibrating to broadcast abundance. Feel yourself becoming one with abundance. Feel yourself merging with prosperity. Feel yourself blending with the magnetic force that attracts money, that attracts opportunities, that attracts support, that attracts synchronicity, that attracts everything you desire. Feel yourself returning to your true nature as a being of infinite magnetism and unlimited potential. You are magnetized to wealth. You are magnetized to abundance. You are magnetized to all good. You are magnetized to exactly what you desire. You are magnetized to perfect health. You are magnetized to loving relationships. You are magnetized to meaningful work. You are magnetized to all things that support your flourishing. And everything you desire is magnetized to you. The attraction is perfect. The alignment is complete. The manifestation is inevitable. There is no resistance. There is no delay. There is only the law of magnetism operating perfectly. Let go now. Release all effort. Release all concern. Release all doubt. Release all fear. Release all resistance. Simply trust. Simply know. Simply be. Be the magnetized being that you are. Be the wealthy consciousness that you are. Be the prosperous self that you are. Be the abundant one that you are. Be all of it. Feel all of it. Know all of it. And as you drift now into the deepest levels of sleep, into the realm of dreams where anything is possible, into the space where miracles happen and synchronicity flows and the universe reveals its secrets, know that your entire life is shifting. Know that your circumstances are reorganizing at this very moment. Know that your prosperity is manifesting right now. Know that money is flowing to you. Know that abundance is becoming your reality. Know that you are safe. Know that you are loved. Know that you are supported beyond measure. I am rich. Money flows to me now. Divine supply is mine. I sleep in peace and wake in abundance. I am rich. Money flows to me now. Divine supply is mine. I sleep in peace and wake in abundance. I am rich. Money flows to me now. Divine supply is mine. I sleep in peace and wake in abundance. Sleep now. Deep, peaceful, restorative, rejuvenating sleep. Sleep as someone who is wealthy beyond measure. Sleep as someone who is magnetic to money. Sleep as someone who is provided for completely. Sleep as someone who is abundant in every way. Sleep knowing that while you rest, while your body restores itself, while your mind integrates these teachings, everything is being taken care of. Sleep knowing that while you sleep, miracles are being prepared for you. Sleep knowing that while you sleep, synchronicities are being arranged. Sleep knowing that while you sleep, doors are opening for your good. By the time you wake tomorrow morning, you will be different. Your consciousness will have integrated these profound teachings. Your frequency will have shifted to a higher level. Your magnetism will be activated and running strong. And the universe will respond to your new magnetism by bringing you money from unexpected sources, opportunities that excite you, support from unexpected people, synchronicities that guide you, abundance in all forms. Welcome home to your true nature. Welcome home to your magnetic power. Welcome home to your infinite abundance. Welcome home to your authentic self. Welcome home to the person you were always meant to be. Welcome home to yourself as you truly are. I am rich now. Money flows to me now. Divine supply is mine now. I am abundant now. I am magnetic now. I am prosperous now. I am wealthy now. I am provided for now. I am blessed now. I am guided now. I am supported now. I am loved now. And so it is. Amen. And so it is.